Hi BookTube, it's Gina. Happy Friday. How are you? I have a bunch of things I wanted to talk to you about today. And of course there will be books, but I also have a couple other things. One is the weather, because I live in Seattle, or in the Seattle region. I'm not in the city. You will see. I'm gonna show you some pictures of our weather. Spring has hit here and it is glorious. It's quite unusual for us to be having such beautiful weather while still in April, which makes me think it's gonna be probably a little miserable this summer, but who knows? It could also go the other direction. But I had to show you how gorgeous it is out here right now. End of last year, I had my deck rebuilt. It was falling apart, mushy, not safe. So we had a new deck done, and this is my first summer with my new deck. I pulled out my deck furniture yesterday, and a friend came over. She just left. We had a lovely little glass of wine out on the deck, and it was just spectacular. So I'm super excited about our weather and about our deck. Speaking of the weather, well, before we get into that, let me talk about the books. So I wanted to tell you what I have read and finished, and actually, well, two I loved, one I didn't love so much, since I last updated you. I don't remember exactly, but I've got some notes here. So the first thing I wanted to tell you is I just finished the So Shall You Reap, the new release by Donna Leone, the inspector, oh gosh, in Venice. I'm trying to blank as to his name. Good Lord, Gina. Brunetti? I'm getting confused now with the Three Pines inspector. Oh, anyway, this is, I think, like it's the latest one in her series. There are dozens of them, and I mean, it was fine. It was fine, but I feel like the series has sort of run its course for me, which is sad because I absolutely loved it for a long, long time, but it's gotten repetitive, boring. The story is not very good. The mystery's not very good. So I probably sadly would not recommend that. I also finished another misread, so I'm working my way through the Thrush Green series, which is my favorite misread series. She's got three: Thrush Green, Fairacre, and Caxley Chronicles. And Thrush Green is by far my favorite. The characters are fantastic. They're recurring characters throughout the whole series, so you get to know them, you get to love them. And this one was at home in Thrush Green, and I love it. It's so good. So I finished that, and then I also finished, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this correctly, it's Eidolon. It's a series called The Wraith Kings, and it's by Grace Draven. And it is so good. It is a fantasy romance series. They're short books. There's a little bit of graphic sex, so if you don't like that, avoid these books. Less in this book. This is the second book in the series. But it's a lot of fun. I really loved it. It is a fantasy, it is a romance, and yeah, they're just really good. So I really enjoyed that. And I am currently reading the Hopkins manuscript, which is by R.C. Sheriff, who wrote two of my favorite books, the Fortnight in September and Green Gates, both of which I loved. And this one, I've got this beautiful Persephone, but I'm reading it on my Kindle. I am about a quarter of the way through, and it's so funny because this is actually science fiction, and it's, without giving any spoilers, it's about the moon. And I was reading this in bed last night, and the moon was so bright, it was shining on my garage, and I was actually like a little nervous, and I had to set this down and go to misread. So it's not a scary book, but it definitely gave me the creeps a little bit, which was unusual since it is pretty atmospheric, and I'm really enjoying it. And then, so lastly, what I wanted to talk to you about is I've mentioned before that we're getting some mini splits, so those little air conditioning boxes. And because the weather has been changing here in Seattle, we've had 3 years in a row now where we have had over 100 degree weather for much longer than we normally would. We'd have maybe a week of super hot weather in August and everybody would be miserable, but you'd open your windows and it would be fine. But the last couple of years, we hit 117 and it lasted for days and days and days, and then it just cooled down a little bit. It's been miserable. So we finally decided to get some air conditioning and mini splits put in. But what that means is that my bookshelves in my office, they're tall, 3 bookshelves. We have to replace them because the mini split's gonna have to go up on top where the bookshelves are. So we're gonna have to get some shorter bookshelves. So I'm going through and pulling out some books. I'm gonna get rid of them. I've got like 5 bags of books that are gonna go, plus probably some more. I'm gonna have to get rid of some more because I gotta decrease at least 3 whole shelves because we're gonna have to get shorter bookcases. So that's been a challenge, although I will say it has been less of a challenge than I thought it would be. I'm kind of ready to let a lot of this stuff go. I realize it's not the taste that I currently like to read, and I really don't feel that bad about it. So I just wanted to let you know because it's kind of fun to unhaul some books. I'm trying to decide what I want to do with them right now. The place I normally sell them isn't taking any appointments. I could sell them at the used bookstore, but they give you like a couple dollars, and for 5 bags, I've done this before, you'll get like $30. So I may just Goodwill them. I'm kind of on the fence still a little bit about what I want to do with them. But it's kind of fun to let some stuff go, to make room for the new, to clear out some space. I like to declutter, make things feel a little bit lighter, and I'm super excited to get some air conditioning. So anyway, that is what I wanted to talk to you about today, and I'll see you later. Bye.